Good morning, students. How are you? I hope you all are doing well. Okay, let's start today's session. In online class, we have already discussed about the definition of the planets and some of the characteristics of the planets. Okay, adding in that, besides revolving around the sun, our planet also rotate on its own axis. As we know about the Earth rotates on its axis as well as it revolve around the sun. So same as the Earth, other planets also do the same. They rotate on its own axis like a top. You can see in the figure. The time taken by the planet to complete one rotation is called period of rotation, है ना? If we talk about the earth, then for the earth period of rotation, it means to rotate on its own axis is 24 hour, है ना? In 24 hour it completes its one rotation, and revolution means to revolve around the sun. So for the earth this is 365, approximately 365 days, right? Okay. Next, some planets are known to have moon, satellites revolving around them. So any celestial body revolving around another celestial body is called its satellite. Is it okay? It means if, as you know about the earth, suppose this is the earth and moon is revolving around it, it means moon is the satellite of earth. है ना? And this earth is revolving around the sun. Suppose this is the sun, then this is also a satellite of sun, right? Okay, then earth can be said to be the satellite of the sun, though generally we call it a planet of the sun, right? Okay, the earth revolve around the sun. Does it make earth a satellite of the sun? So it is normally it is called the planet of the sun. We use the term satellite for the bodies revolving around the planet. Moon is a satellite of earth. Okay, we have already discussed. And there are many man-made satellites are also there which are revolving around the earth. These are called artificial satellite. So we know about these satellite. There are so many artificial satellite which we launch फ्रॉम द अर्थ, है ना? हम लॉन्च करते हैं जो कि अर्थ के चारों तरफ रिवॉल्व करती है. इट टेक्स द पिक्चर एंड सेंड टू अस, है ना? एंड दीज आर यूज फॉर द मिलिट्री पर्पजेज, एजुकेशनल पर्पजेज, फॉर द एग्रीकल्चर पर्पजेज, है ना? फॉर द मीटोलॉजिकल डिपार्टमेंट ऑल्सो दे टेक द पिक्चर्स एंड गिव द आइडिया अबाउट द वेदर, है ना? हेल्प इन preparing the weather reports, right? Okay, astronomy in ancient India. So we all know about the astronomy. Astronomy is a to मतलब भविष्य के बारे में कुछ बताना. This is called the astronomy. The practice of astronomy in the ancient India is mentioned in Rig Vedas. In Rig Veda, which was composed about 4000 years ago. Many Indian scholars have contributed to astronomy. One of the most well-known astronomer is Aryabhatta, right? Who is that Aryabhatta? The work of the Aryabhatta in the astronomy can be found in his writing Aryabhatiya. He wrote it in 499 CE at the age of 23 years, right? Okay, the diameter of the earth as stated by the Aryabhatta is close to its present known value. है ना? तो इतने पुराने टाइम पे भी उन्होंने जो है वो कैलकुलेशन बिल्कुल एग्जैक्ट की थी, है ना? इट वाज द नॉलेज ऑफ द एस्ट्रोनॉमी एंड सो दैट दे हैव द एग्जैक्ट आइडिया अबाउट द अर्थ, है ना? इट मीन्स दैट टाइम ऑल्सो द साइंस हैज बीन डेवलप्ड. So we can say our ancestors have a knowledge about that जो कि हम अब पता लगा रहे हैं. They already know about it, है ना? And the value is exactly मोस्ट, है ना? प्रॉब्ली इट इज़ मतलब उसके काफ़ी ज़्यादा करीब होती है वो वैल्यू. ओके, नाउ से अर्थ, what is that? Disregarding the popular views that earth is a achla, immovable, है ना? तो Aryabhatta state that earth is a sphere and it rotates on its own axis. He estimated about the sidereal period of the earth was 23 hours, है ना? तो it is now the known value is 24 hour, but that time it was said कि it is approximately 23 hours. And Now see 23 hours and 56 minutes and 4.1 second, which is very close to the presently known value. And he also correctly stated that the moon and the planets shine due to the reflection of the sunlight. है ना? So he also gave a scientific explanation of the solar and the lunar eclipse. Right? That time he explained all these things. When the shadow of the earth falls on the moon, then it causes the lunar eclipse. Okay, it means when the shadow of the earth falls on the moon, it means earth is in the middle and moon is here and sun is here. Then in this case, the shadow cast on the moon, then it is called the lunar eclipse. And when the shadow of the moon falls on the earth, it means this is sun and this is moon, and now the this is the earth. Now when the shadow of the moon it ये पड़ती है आपके किसमें earth पे, then it is called the lunar eclipse, sorry क्या solar eclipse, right? Then Aryabhatta also found the distance between the earth and the moon, which is very close to the known value of today. है ना? So we can say this astronomy in the ancient India was very developed. And now next planet we are talking about, the after the earth we are talking about the Mercury. Now see, Mercury is the nearest to the is the planet nearest to the sun, and it is the smallest planet, है ना, nearest planet to the sun and the smallest planet in our solar system. It is very close to the sun, that's why it is very difficult to observe it, है ना, because जो shine of the sun head, due to that shine it is very difficult to observe, as most of the time it is hidden in the glare of the sun. However, it can be observed just before the sunrise and just after the sun set near to the horizon, and so it is visible only at a place where trees and buildings do not obstruct the view of the horizon. Mercury has no satellite of its own, right? Okay. Now next is the Venus. Venus in the Hindi it is called the Shukra and Shukratara. Then Venus is the is Earth's nearest planetary neighbor, and it is the brightest planet of the in the night sky, brightest one, right? Okay. Sometime Venus appear in the eastern sky before the sunrise, and sometimes it appears in the western sky just after the sun set. Therefore, it is often called the morning or evening star. Though it is not a star, है ना? I have already told you planets are not a star. They do not have their own light. That's why it is also not called a star. But because it मतलब seems in the sky in the morning and evening time, that's why it is called the evening and morning star. Try to locate Venus in the night sky. Easily you can see it, है ना? Easily दिख जाता है ये. Now next is Venus has no moon or satellite on its own. ठीक है? As the previous one, क्या Mercury and the second one Venus, these two do not have any satellite. Rotation of the Venus on its axis is somewhat unusual. It rotates from west, east to west, while the Earth rotates from west to east. You know about it. Then okay, now the activity is there, find out some newspaper or from the almanac the time that Venus is visible in the sky. You can easily recognize Venus by the brightness, and remember the brightness cannot be seen very high in the sky. You must try to observe Venus either 1 to 3 hours before the sunrise or 1 to 3 hours after the sunset. It is the brightest star, है ना? Does it mean that the Venus, the sun would rise in the west and set in the east? Venus and the sun would rise in the west and set in the east? Yes. Okay. Then now see the answer. If you get a chance, try to observe Venus through the telescope. You will observe that Venus shows phases just like the moon. It also you can see in this figure, है ना? It also show its phases. Right? Okay. Then the question of this question, does it mean that Venus, the sun, would rise in the west and set in the east? Yes, obviously it would be there. Okay. Now, next is Earth. This planet also called Prithvi, and the Earth is the only planet in the solar system on which life exists. Some special environmental conditions are responsible, है ना, presence of the water and atmospheric condition, presence of the oxygen, and this is the reason so that and the uh, temperature, है ना, appropriate temperature which is suitable for the survival of life. These include just the right distance and the right distance from the sun so that the temperature can be maintained uh, through the atmosphere, है ना. So the right temperature range, the presence of the water and the suitable atmosphere and the blanket of ozone, these all are the conditions due to which it is suitable for the life. Okay, now we must take special care to protect our environment so that the life on the earth is not disturbed. Yes, obviously, if the environment will not be disturbed, then the suitable condition will be there, and if the gaseous composition change, then also and the ozone layer gets depleted, then it will be harmful for us, and the life will be disturbed. From space, the Earth appears blue. It is due to the reflection of the light from the water because the most of the landmass is covered by the water. The axis of the rotation of the Earth is not perpendicular, है ना? It is tilted. This tilt is responsible for the change in the season on the Earth. The Earth has only one satellite, that is, or we can say it has one moon. It is called satellite. If I am 13 years old, how many times have I gone around the sun? Yeah, obviously 13 times, है ना? Because the rotation it completes its revolution in 1 year. Then if I am 13 years old, so obviously I will take round of the sun about 13 times. Okay. Now next is the Mars or Mangal, the next planet, the first outside of the orbit of the Earth is Mars. It appears reddish, slightly reddish, and therefore it is also called the rat planet. Right? Mars has two small natural satellite also. है ना? Earth has one and Mars has two satellite. Okay, now about the Mangalyaan. Indian Research Space Research Organization, which is called ISRO, it launched India's first Mars orbiter mission called Mangalyaan, right? And the date was 5 November 2013. It was successfully placed into the orbit of the Mars on September 24, 2014, right? With this, India became the first country in the world to do so in its first attempt, right? Okay, then this is enough for today, and we will complete other planets in next video. Thanks for watching me.